Last week in my urology clinic, I evaluated two men, both 62 years old. One walked in with confidence, moved easily, and spoke clearly. The other shuffled slowly, seemed hesitant, avoided eye contact. Same age, completely different lives. The difference came down to 7 specific capabilities. Gentlemen, if you can still do these 7 things, your body is functioning at a level most men your age have already lost. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, a board-certified urologist with over 10 years of experience helping men reclaim their vitality. Today, I'm walking you through 7 precise markers that separate men who are thriving from men who are merely surviving. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and what to do about it. Here's what happens to most men after 60 that nobody talks about. Your cardiovascular system slows down, making simple activities exhausting. Your muscles weaken, not from age alone, but from inactivity. Your cognitive function dims, creating mental fog. And slowly, you withdraw from life, turning down invitations, avoiding challenges, accepting limitation as inevitable. Maybe you avoid stairs now because they leave you breathless. Or you forgot your grandson's name last week. Or you turned down a weekend trip because you didn't have the energy. What most men don't realize is these aren't inevitable consequences of aging. They're warning signs that specific systems need attention. The men who pay attention to these 7 markers aren't just living longer, they're living stronger. They maintain independence, sexual vitality, mental clarity, and physical confidence well into their 70s and beyond. The difference between thriving and declining often comes down to awareness, because you can't fix what you don't measure. I've spent over a decade working with thousands of men navigating challenges after 50. I've seen 55-year-old men who function like they're 75 and 72-year-old men with the vitality of someone 20 years younger. The difference isn't genetics or luck. It's the daily habits and specific capabilities they've chosen to maintain. A 2022 study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine tracked over 53,000 adults and found that functional capabilities predicted mortality risk more accurately than standard medical measurements. These aren't just fitness challenges. They're windows into how well your body is functioning at the cellular level. Before we dive in, drop your location in the comments. I love seeing how far this community reaches. Let's start with the first capability. Can you climb 2 flights of stairs, about 20 to 24 steps, at a normal pace without stopping to catch your breath? If you can do this comfortably, you're already ahead of 60% of men your age. Those stairs test your entire cardiovascular system. Your heart's ability to pump efficiently, your lungs' capacity to exchange oxygen, your blood vessels' ability to deliver that oxygen to working muscles, and your muscular endurance. A Harvard Medical School study found that stair climbing ability was one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Men who could handle 2 flights without distress had 30% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Why? Because climbing stairs tests VO2 max, your body's ability to take in, transport, and use oxygen. Here's where it connects to something I know many of you care about deeply. That same cardiovascular system powering your legs up those stairs is the exact system responsible for maintaining firm, reliable erections. The blood vessels feeding your leg muscles are larger versions of the tiny vessels that fill erectile tissue. When your cardiovascular system is strong enough to handle stairs effortlessly, it's also strong enough to deliver the blood flow necessary for sexual performance. I had a 64-year-old patient who came to me for erectile dysfunction. During consultation, he mentioned he couldn't make it up 1 flight of stairs without stopping. We started progressive cardiovascular training, beginning with just 5 or 6 steps at a time. 3 months later, he was hiking with his grandchildren, and his morning erections had returned for the first time in years. The same improved circulation allowing him to climb stairs was improving blood flow throughout his entire body. If you're struggling with stairs, start with 5 or 6 steps, rest, then repeat. Gradually increase to 10, then 15, then a full flight. You'll notice improvement within 3 to 4 weeks. The second capability moves from physical strength to mental sharpness. Can you remember what you ate for dinner yesterday? Not just the food, but where you were, who you were with. What you talked about. This seems trivial, but it's a powerful indicator of cognitive function. Sharp memory means your brain is still processing, storing, and retrieving information efficiently. It means you're still capable of learning, still able to engage in meaningful conversations, still mentally present. What's happening involves your hippocampus, the brain's memory center that needs consistent blood flow and oxygen to function. Here's what's critical. Men with erectile dysfunction are 38% more likely to develop dementia within 10 years. Why? Both conditions often share the same root cause, vascular problems. The same arterial issues reducing blood flow to the penis are also reducing blood flow to the brain. Your brain and penis are connected by the same network of blood vessels. When those vessels become stiff or blocked, both organs suffer. I had a 59-year-old patient concerned about both memory fog and erectile difficulties. After improving his cardiovascular health through exercise and better nutrition, both issues improved significantly within 8 weeks. He described it as coming out of a tunnel he didn't realize he'd been walking through. If your memory feels foggy, aerobic exercise increases brain blood flow by 15 to 20%. Learn something new each week, do puzzles, read challenging material, have conversations that make you think. Movement is crucial because what's good for your heart is good for your brain. The third test separates those with physical confidence from those who've lost trust in their bodies. Can you stand on one leg for 20 seconds without holding onto anything, without wobbling? Balance isn't just about not falling. It's about trusting your body completely. This ability comes from a complex system involving your inner ear, your vision, proprioception, and your core strength. A 2022 study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine followed men over 50 for a decade and found those who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds had 84% higher risk of death over the next 10 years. Not because balance keeps you alive, but because balance reveals how well multiple critical systems function together. Studies show balance ability after 60 is one of the strongest predictors of fall risk, and falls are one of the biggest threats to independence. But there's another dimension. Balance is confidence. It's what allows you to move spontaneously, to be physically playful, to engage in activities without fear. And yes, it's what allows you to be confident in the bedroom, able to try different positions without worrying about stability. I worked with a 62-year-old patient terrified of falling. After 6 weeks of daily balance practice, standing on one leg while brushing his teeth, he felt like a completely different man. His wife noticed he was moving with more confidence everywhere, including in their intimate moments. If you're struggling, stand on one leg while brushing your teeth, 30 seconds on each side. Do heel-to-toe walking. Consider Tai Chi or yoga. You'll notice improvement in 2 to 4 weeks. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Comment below. Which of these first 3 abilities do you feel strongest in? Which one surprised you most? I read every comment. Let's move into territory many men overlook. The 4th capability is about emotional resilience. When was the last time you laughed until your sides hurt? Not a polite chuckle, but a deep, genuine belly laugh that took over your whole body. This might seem out of place, but this ability reveals something profound about your emotional health and hormonal balance. Most men your age have become serious, guarded, weighed down by life's disappointments. But genuine laughter shows you can still find happiness despite everything. Here's what's remarkable. Laughter isn't just an emotion. It's a physiological event. When you laugh deeply, your body releases endorphins. Your stress hormones, particularly cortisol, drop by 39%. Your blood vessels dilate, improving circulation by 22%. Your immune system gets a boost. Here's the connection to sexual health. High cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production by up to 30%. Chronic stress is one of the primary reasons testosterone declines after 50. Deep, regular laughter lowers cortisol, creating the hormonal environment your body needs to maintain healthy testosterone. Men who laugh freely are magnetic. They radiate confidence that life hasn't defeated them. One patient was chronically stressed, running a business, dealing with family pressures. Low testosterone, declining erectile function, constant fatigue. After prioritizing joy, including joining a comedy club, his testosterone increased 18% over 3 months. His energy returned, his mood stabilized, and his intimate life improved dramatically. If you've lost your ability to laugh deeply, actively seek what brings you joy. Watch comedy that makes you genuinely laugh. Spend time with people who lighten your mood. Give yourself permission to find life amusing again. Emotional strength feeds directly into the fifth marker, social connection. Can you name 3 men you could call right now for a real conversation? Not casual acquaintances, but men you actually talk to, spend time with, trust with your struggles? After 60, social isolation becomes one of the biggest health threats. Harvard's 80-year study of adult development found that relationship quality was the #1 predictor of health and happiness. Studies show loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes daily. Social isolation increases cardiovascular disease risk by 29% and stroke risk by 32%. When you maintain real friendships, you keep your brain stimulated through conversation. You stay emotionally stable because you have support. You remain socially engaged instead of withdrawing into isolation. Here's the hormonal component. Isolation increases cortisol, which suppresses testosterone and reduces sexual desire. Men who have friends they can call, meet up with, and be honest with live longer, have better cognitive function, report higher life satisfaction, and maintain better sexual health. I had a widowed 67-year-old patient who became isolated after his wife passed. His health declined rapidly, weight gain, depression, worsening erectile dysfunction. After joining a men's support group and rebuilding a social network through a hiking club, his entire health profile improved within 6 months. If your social circle is shrinking, take action. Join a club, take a class, volunteer, reconnect with old friends. Your friendships are not a luxury. They're a health necessity. Social strength leads to the 6th marker, self-sufficiency. Can you plan, shop for, and prepare a complete nutritious meal from scratch without help or needing a recipe? This demonstrates independence and creativity, but goes much deeper. Cooking requires cognitive function, planning, remembering steps, coordinating timing. It's excellent brain exercise, and it ensures you're eating well. Research shows men who regularly cook have 47% better diet quality and 23% lower obesity rates. Here's the connection to sexual health. Nutrition affects testosterone production fundamentally. The foods you choose, the nutrients you consume, the inflammatory compounds you avoid, all directly determine your hormone levels, energy, and sexual function. Zinc is essential for testosterone. Healthy fats provide building blocks for hormone synthesis. Antioxidants protect blood vessels that enable erections. When you cook, you control all these factors. I had a 61-year-old patient who ate mostly takeout and processed foods. After learning 5 basic healthy meals, within 10 weeks his energy improved. He lost 15 pounds, and his erectile function strengthened significantly. He attributed it to better nutrition supporting every system in his body. If you've never learned to cook, start with 3 to 5 simple recipes. Master eggs, stir-fry, roasted vegetables. This skill will serve you for life and directly impact your vitality daily. Now the 7th and final capability, where everything comes together. When you face an important decision, do you assess, decide, and act with confidence? Or do you overthink, seek everyone's opinion, and second-guess yourself constantly? This reveals whether you've retained strong executive function, the part of your brain responsible for planning and decision-making. Most men your age become indecisive, always checking with someone else, afraid of mistakes, losing confidence in their judgment. But if you can assess, decide, and act confidently, you're operating with mental authority. You trust yourself. You believe in your wisdom. You're still the captain of your ship. Research shows decisiveness is linked to testosterone levels and dopamine function. Indecisiveness often signals hormonal decline. The prefrontal cortex requires adequate blood flow and neurochemical balance to function optimally. Confident decision-making correlates with perceived masculinity and life satisfaction. I had a 58-year-old former executive who'd lost confidence in decision-making. After addressing his low testosterone and implementing cognitive exercises, his decisiveness returned. He described it as remembering who he used to be. If you've become more indecisive, practice making small decisions quickly. What to eat, which route to take, what to watch. Set time limits. Give yourself 5 minutes, then commit. Build confidence through small wins with low-stakes choices. Here's what you need to understand. These 7 capabilities aren't separate. They're interconnected parts of one system. When you climb stairs regularly, you're improving blood flow to your brain, which sharpens memory. You're boosting testosterone, which enhances decision-making. You're increasing energy, which helps maintain social connections. When you cook healthy meals, you're fueling testosterone production, which enhances sexual function. You're controlling nutrition, which affects cardiovascular health. You're practicing executive function, which keeps your brain sharp. When you maintain friendships, you're reducing cortisol, which protects testosterone. You're engaging your mind, preventing cognitive decline. You're creating emotional resilience, which helps you laugh deeply. This is why improvement in one area often improves others. Your body is one system where every component affects every other component. Address one weakness, and you often strengthen multiple capabilities simultaneously. Now, score yourself. Give yourself 1 point for each capability you can do comfortably. Be honest. This is for you. Can you climb stairs without gasping? Remember yesterday's dinner clearly? Balance 20 seconds? Laugh deeply regularly? Call 3 real friends? Cook a meal? Make decisions confidently? Add up your score. If you scored 6 or 7, you're in the top 10% of men your age. Your focus should be maintaining and optimizing. If you scored 4 or 5, you're above average, but there's room to improve. Pick your weakest areas and target them. If you scored 2 or 3, you need focused attention on rebuilding. Don't be discouraged. Every capability is trainable. Start with one area. If you scored 0 or 1, see your doctor and create a structured plan. Sudden decline could signal underlying medical issues needing professional attention. Here's your action protocol. Phase 1, weeks 1 and 2, test all 7 capabilities, identify your weakest area, begin easiest improvements. Phase 2, weeks 3 through 6, focus on your weakest capability, add 1 new practice weekly, track progress. Phase 3, weeks 7 through 10, expand to second and third weakest areas, combine practices for efficiency. Phase 4, weeks 11 and 12, integrate improvements into sustainable routine, retest all 7 capabilities. Don't try fixing everything at once. Master one capability, then move to the next. Sustainable progress beats rushed perfection. Important warnings. If you can only do 0 to 2 capabilities comfortably, schedule a complete physical. Sudden decline could signal cardiovascular disease, hormonal imbalances, or neurological problems. These tests should reveal capabilities, not cause injury. If you experience chest pain, severe dizziness, or significant joint pain during any test, stop immediately and consult your doctor. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't compare yourself to others. Compare to where you were last month. Don't ignore pain signals. Don't assume you're fine if struggling with multiple markers. Don't rush progress. Injury from pushing too hard will set you back further than slow, steady improvement. Let's talk about realistic timelines. Weeks 1 and 2, you'll become more aware of your body. You might feel discouraged initially. That's normal. Awareness is the first step. Weeks 3 and 4, you'll notice small improvements. Stairs feel easier. Balance is longer. Memory feels clearer. Weeks 5 through 8, measurable gains. You're climbing stairs without breathlessness. Balance is solid. You're cooking regularly. Laughing more. Weeks 9 through 12, compound benefits kick in. Better energy all day. Clearer thinking. Stronger confidence. Firmer morning erections. Your partner notices. At 6 months, significant transformation. You're functionally younger than 6 months ago. You've proven biological age is within your control. This isn't about reversing aging. It's about optimizing how you age. Men who maintain these 7 capabilities stay independent, active, sexually vital, and mentally sharp well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below right now, how many of these 7 can you do comfortably? Give me your honest score. Tell me which one surprised you most. If this opened your eyes to where you really stand, hit that subscribe button. Every week, I share evidence-based strategies to help men over 50 maintain strength, vitality, and sexual health. Ring that bell so you don't miss the next video. Here's what I want you to remember. These 7 markers aren't just tests. They're invitations to stay engaged with life, to keep pushing, to refuse to fade quietly. Your 60s, 70s, and beyond can be decades of real strength, genuine purpose, and yes, continued sexual vitality. All it takes is attention, intention, and action. Most men surrender to decline because they don't realize these abilities are trainable, that biological age isn't fixed, that their bodies will respond at any age. But you're not most men. You're here. You're learning. You're taking this seriously. That already puts you ahead of 80% of men your age who've accepted limitation as reality. These 7 capabilities aren't just about physical health. They're about maintaining your identity as a strong, capable, independent man. They're about dignity, purpose, and continuing to live life on your own terms. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, and I will see you in the next video.